You're watching the 22nd edition of the Local Lowdown podcast. My name is Zach Bischoff, and we today are going to be talking about first we're going to talk about the college football playoff, the Pens, and maybe the Pens and the Steelers. All that and more coming up next, right here on the Local Lowdown podcast. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the 22nd edition of the Local Lowdown podcast. My name is Zach Bischoff, and I am, as always, joined by
Danny Shannon, sir.
All right, thank you, Danny. All right, jumping right on into the proceedings here today. Danny, your thoughts on the 30 to 13, 13 to 10, excuse me, loss to the 2-win and 10 losses Arizona Cardinals.
Zach, man, oh man, it is hard not to almost laugh about the state of the 2023-2024 Steelers, man. I mean, there's not a lower point that the Steelers have been into than losing to the now 3-10 Arizona Cardinals. You know, they are the worst team in football. That's not up for debate. And Zach, the Steelers got outplayed in every facet of the game. They did not execute anything to perfection. Um, it was situationally the Steelers did not cash in on their opportunities, and the Arizona Cardinals did. And that was the biggest difference. I mean, aside from the first drive, where Kenny Pickett and the Steelers moved effectively. Um, Other than that, the Steelers really struggled to move the ball consistently and produce points. Kenny Pickett, um, prior or prior to the first half ending, was got a high ankle sprain. On the 1 yard line, and Mitch Trubisky was unable to punch it in on 4th and goal, which I thought that was really the turning point of the game
And
because
Danny, if I may interrupt, what were your thoughts on the 4th and 1 play out of the shotgun?
yeah, Zach. I mean, I don't. I feel like in a sense the Steelers were a little stuck because your quarterback just went down, but you're on the 1 yard line and you want to cash get a touchdown in.
Run a tush
Um,
push. I would have
right.
got it in.
That's it. No, Zach. That's exactly what we probably should have done, and
Do it while it's still legal.
no,
Apparently, Goodell wants to ban it.
exactly, man. No, I mean, yeah, because it works so well. But I think that Arizona was able to kind of realize that, like, because of Mitch Trubisky that being his first play from scrimmage, they're probably not going to have him throw the ball because it's so close and it's his first throw. So they really sold out on the run, and obviously Najee Harris was unable to get get all the way into the end zone. So I think that a QB sneak like the setback would have been the better course of action. I think the biggest thing that the Steelers have got to figure out how to do is to work as a unit on offense, Zach, because right now it seems like a lot of individuals trying to make plays, but not really a team collectively trying to make plays and get drives together. And Zach, when we're in the red zone, we have to produce. We ended up Deontay Johnson, scored a lone touchdown in the game, and that made it 27-10. But other than that, Zach, we were unable to move the ball aside from getting stopped at the one. I mean, I think when you look at the other teams in the NFL, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Ravens, teams with Flint, the Dolphins, who scored 45 points against Washington, they worked as a unit. You know what I mean? and they're able to scheme guys open. I feel like we're having a really difficult time doing that. Now, Zach, I'm gonna take some positives away from this because
You found positives?
no, here's what I'm gonna say, Zach. I think there's been a lot of
This will be
a
good.
lot, go ahead.
I
What
said
was
this
that?
will be good.
Oh no, because Zach, here's kind of the other viewpoint that I'm going from, right? Obviously, one of the worst losses in the Tomlin era was yesterday. You know, there's really no debating that, man. I mean, to lose 27-10 to a bad Arizona Cardinals team and be that outplayed by them, I mean that's not good. But I am hopeful that on a short week, on a game where we didn't come up just a couple plays short, we came up dozens and dozens of plays short. That we can hopefully come together as a team and really kind of put our best foot forward in these next few weeks here, man. Because we're really getting down to crunch time here, man. I
Yep.
mean, we really um we could have put put ourselves in the upper echelon of the league if we took care of business. We would have been sitting at 8-4, and we did the exact opposite. But on a short week, Tech, with our starting quarterback out, I think this is the time, if there's ever been a time, for our team to come together and figure it out because something's got to change fast, man.
Your thoughts on Deontay Johnson dancing after that touchdown?
Yeah, Zach. I mean, that's Deontay Johnson has been labeled, by the media as being a disinterested player, and based on what he did last week on a fumble play where he just walked off the field, and
It's not
didn't.
a good couple of weeks.
No, not a very good couple weeks for Deontay Johnson. And I think Deontay Johnson has the best intentions. I think he, values being. I think he views himself as a number one receiver. I think he values his role on the Steelers. I
Hmm.
don't know how much Deontay Johnson though is situationally aware of, the what he's kind of being, um, what's kind of being said about him, which I think is good in a sense, but also like um, that was not the time to celebrate just because you're down 17 points to a bad team in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I mean we had so many. I mean George Pickens went out for a little bit. I mean we're so banged up right now, and I think that's going to be something to watch. But obviously that was not the moment for Deontay to do that. But I think that Deontay Johnson has just got to kind of um, just simplify things a little bit. I think Deontay Johnson sometimes overthinks when he's playing. It's easy to say as a fan, but how many times do we want Deontay Johnson just to catch the ball and then think about what he's doing rather than, think about the play after the catch or the celebration after the catch? So I mean, I'm hopeful that they'll kind of talk to him and get him more kind of situationally aware of everything. He addressed the fumble play with the team. Apparently, Mike Sullivan and Eddie Faulkner gave him that opportunity, and he took it. So that's encouraging. But Zach, I mean, where do we go from here? Because there's so many wolves, man. They really are on in all three phases of ball. I mean, the defense gave up 27 points to Arizona. You
Yeah.
know, Boswell missed a kick, which never had. Like, I mean, I just again, if there's ever a time to unite, this is the week to do it. And
Yeah.
on a short week, we have the chance to have a short term memory. But Zach, like, what are your expectations for the rest of the year? Do you think we just after this walk we just go completely downhill, or do you think?
Well, I don't want to say yes to that but I feel like that now that since we've lost to the Arizona Cardinals, I feel like at this point it's the only place we can go is up.
Yeah,
So, and especially with it being a short week, I feel like that if you couldn't win against the the then 3-10 Cardinals, and I'm not sure what in the world you're gonna do for the 2-10 Patriots on Thursday night, just 3 short days away.
yeah,
I also think that game was also the game from hell. It was not one but two rain delays, which is
yeah.
not something due to severe weather here in the local area during play. So I think what was it? They resumed from the one, and then
Yeah,
did they even kick off, or did they just did they
they.
miss their or did they send them back in
I think
immediately?
they. I think they. I think they kicked. I want to say they kicked off, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't quite remember. But Zach, yeah,
Oh
that
wait, no,
certainly.
it was they came back and then they scored the touchdown and then
Yeah,
they postponed it from there. So it was
but
like
yeah,
90 minutes in total rain delays.
no, that was. I mean, that again. I think that helped out Arizona, man, because they what Arizona wanted to do was just make everything as disjointed as possible. The Steelers outgained the Cardinals and still came up well short. It was really cool to see James Conner, a Pitt alum, just do an awesome job for the Arizona Cardinals. James Conner's a very easy guy to root for, a Pittsburgh guy through and through. So that was pretty cool to see. But Zach, I mean, oh man, it doesn't really get any lower than this right now, man. I,
No, it doesn't.
the Steelers really. I mean, we gotta accept our losses here, man, and just kind of start from scratch here. Honestly, man. I think it honestly will be interesting to see. And I know Eddie Bolter and Mike Sullivan have had a chaotic couple of weeks to say the least. We're like, we need another spark on offense. So I honestly, obviously, we want to wish Kenny Pickett the best in getting better and dealing with that high ankle sprain. But I also am kind of intrigued to see like what new things that we haven't tried out before can we do with Mitch Trubisky.
Hmm.
Because Mitch Trubisky turns the ball over a lot more than Kenny, but he also takes more risks. Takes more shots down the field. So um, I mean, I I want to say I'm looking forward to the New England Patriots game because, like you said, Zach, I think the only place we can go from here is up. I'm also a little bit fearful though because we could be in for more of the same in just 3 straight days.
Right. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Annie. And now we're going to move on to the college football playoff, the 2023 college football playoff. It makes no sense at all. So your rankings: the final four are number one, Michigan; number two, Washington; number three, Texas; number four, Alabama. Michigan will get Alabama in the Rose Bowl, and Washington will get Texas in the Cotton Bowl. Danny, your thoughts on the first the Final Four?
Yeah, Zach. This was probably now I haven't seen actually I have seen the college football playoff since its inception. I didn't follow it super closely in the earlier years because I was a little bit younger. But this has got to be the most um, up for debate top four that we've had in the college football playoff history, man. I mean, it was tight, and there was not with 14. There's not a lot of room, period. But I mean, the committee had such a hard job. I think that um, I think that the committee mostly got it right. I would have put I would have had Alabama as number three and Florida State as number four instead of Texas. Because Florida State did everything that they could do. I know they're in the ACC, and that's what held them back. I mean, obviously, their quarterback, Heisman Trophy candidate, Jordan Travis, going out with an injury did not help their case at all. But man, oh man, you have to feel for Florida State because they went undefeated in a Power Five conference. But I mean, Zach, how would you like to be in Michigan right now? Because Michigan's been like, they beat Ohio State, they beat Iowa easily, but the reward for being the number one team and winning the Big Ten is playing the SEC conference champions Alabama after they beat the number one team 27-24. I mean, that is just the field is so deep, and I think that's going to be a tremendous game. But man, oh man, are we in for a treat come New Year's Day, man, or New Year's Eve? Sorry.
In what universe do you put Alabama 11, 12 and 1, excuse me, in
Yeah.
over Florida State 13 and 0 ACC champion for the mere reason of not having your star quarterback? No sense. No
But
sense.
Zach, the thing that the committee cites is the strength of schedule, and I mean you like Alabama in basically the first round of the 2023 college football playoff beat Georgia, and as a result, I think they kind of deserve. I mean, the conference championship or the conference champions in the SEC deserve to be in there, no matter what. I feel like because the SEC
Well,
is
the SEC makes the most money. There it is.
well. That has something to do with it for sure. I think
Has a lot to do with it.
no, you're right, Zach. And like you said, I think this is why I'm really excited for the 12 team playoff come next year, man, because it's no more of the fifth best team going 13-0 being robbed. They still get a chance. So and that's just more big games and keeps the excitement of college football going. But man, dude, and I think Washington and Texas is going to be great too. But I mean, I can't. Like the Michigan Alabama game is just going to be mono and mono, And I mean, Michigan did not. Their reaction to seeing the Crimson Tide did not give me a boatload of confidence, considering that the room was pretty silent after they were announced as the number one team playing Alabama.
Yeah, I did see that.
But but
I have another point when you're done, by the way.
what's up?
I have
Yeah,
another
yeah.
point when you're
No,
done, by the
for
way.
sure. I mean, it's going to be a treat, man, for all college football fans.
And also, my thing with being Florida State being left out is you have, like, going back to last year, you have TCU who lost their college or who lost their conference. They're in the Big 12, I believe,
Yeah.
and they were retained in the fourth spot. So, what's the difference?
I think. Well, I think what you just said is why because the committee with one loss. I mean, they put two teams in there with one loss,
Yeah.
and they. I mean, I think Florida State should have gotten in over Texas. Honestly, I know Texas
Yeah.
beat Alabama, but it wasn't in the. But then that argument, Zach, is that the regular if Texas doesn't get in, then they're going to say, oh, the regular season doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, and that has to matter too. So I mean,
Yeah.
like it. Oh man, it's
Yeah. And also, I noticed um I saw a graphic with the selection criteria.
yeah,
It said at the very bottom, it said it was like strength of schedule. There were like three or four things, and on the bottom it said unavailability of key players or coaches or other
yeah,
factors.
right,
So
right,
they just justified themselves leaving Florida State out.
yeah, yeah,
When
and I
I saw that, I'm like, holy! And hello and welcome to whoever is tuned in live. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Um, But yeah, I think that there's your reason for Florida State being out is that last bullet point there.
No,
So
and it comes. Go ahead, Zach. Sorry, buddy.
good.
No, it just comes down to SEC versus ACC too.
Yep.
Because Alabama had the chance to play better teams than Florida State did in their conference, and that's not. Florida State can only play who's on their schedule. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, dude, I oh man,
And I saw the FSU athletic director had put out a thing basically flaming the selection committee, and
well,
his argument basically was, what's the point of playing the regular season games when
yeah,
the results on the field at the end of the day don't matter, and you're gonna leave a team out based upon the fact that they don't have their quarterback. And
no, it's
I mean, I can't argue that. It's
right, and it's hard.
what's the point of playing the games then? You know?
It's hard not to, and I mean, and that's why I'm super excited for the 12-team format
Yeah.
because you look at the March Madness, 64 teams get in there. Same thing with the soccer tournaments going on right now. 64 teams get in. I mean, so like based on the regular season, different teams from different conferences have the ability to get in. And the reality is, if you're a let's say like I'm trying to pick a team that's like like the one that's coming on is like an Oklahoma State. If they're always ranked like 17. But because of what they are and who they play and how they do, like they're never the 14 playoff. They're never going to get in when they have a banner year. So that's why I'm super excited for the 12-team playoff, man.
Danny, which matchup are you going to be watching more intently?
Yeah, no, I think definitely Michigan, Alabama, man. I mean, I think it just I'm super excited to see JJ McCarthy and Jalen Milroe go at it, man. I think they're super talented. I think that it's honestly, again, it's going to be a bigger test for Michigan, honestly, because Georgia's the last game Alabama played was against Georgia, which was the #1 team, and that's, I mean, and I think that when you're coming off of that and when you see that big win, like that's something. I was good and nowhere near Georgia's Tigers. I think Alabama has that advantage.
All right, Danny, your picks for each game, and then we will pick our winners of the national championship.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna go. Well, I think Washington takes care of business against Texas. I think they played. Yeah, I think they played. I mean, they played Oregon top, and they've found ways to win different ways. I think they're.
I should have watched that game. I knew it.
Yeah, but again, it's also like super like again talk about markets and money that we were just talking about. The Pac-12 game was on a Friday night. The which I guess is pretty prime time, but the SEC game was Saturday 3:30. So everybody's watching that game. But yeah, so I think Washington takes care of business against Florida, and then oh man, I I think Michigan takes care of business against Alabama.
Yes, sir. Okay. Let's see. I need to look up here. Oh, quick like. Um, Danny, let's talk some crap on Penn State, shall we?
Sure, man.
Okay, so we got Penn State playing number 10 Penn State, playing number 11 Ole Miss in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, a New Year's Six Bowl. Danny, your thoughts on how James Franklin can't win any game, any big game in any big spot?
James Franklin is not the guy long term for Penn State. I mean, I really think that he just when it matters, he's a great recruiter. a tremendous recruiter. He gets guys to come down to Happy Valley because of the campus, because of the sellout crowds, the whiteouts. That's an electric atmosphere. But Zach, he's terrible, 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 terrible in big games.
Right.
He's 1-10 against Ohio State since he's been there. I think. I mean, that doesn't get it done. You know what I mean? And I think that I don't see with James Franklin, Penn State is consistently going to be the 10th best team. And I mean, with the college football playoff, they're going to have a chance to make a run.
Yeah.
But they always preach to be a national championship contender. With James Franklin, they're not.
Yeah, I saw something that if the playoff would have gone to 12 this year, Penn State would have likely met Ohio State, I believe.
A little bit of a rematch, huh?
Yes, sir. All right. That's all I really have on Penn State for you. All right. What else want to do? Let's go Pens. So the Pens currently are scoreless late in the first period on a power play where they will likely pass it around and not shoot it, pass it around the outside, or force one of those slap passes down the. I hate the Pens power play. Let's talk about that. What's the problem with the Pens power play? I know we've mentioned this, but we have nothing else playing. We have
We got to be more direct, man. We have to be more direct. That's what it comes down to. Pucks
Yep.
to net. I mean that's literally the best power plays are the most simple, man. And the Penguins are simple at the moment.
What else? Got anything else?
Oh man, I mean, I'm hopeful, Zach, that the Penguins can take care of business because, as you know, it's a big home and home against the Flyers, man, and we want to obviously avenge the 4-3 overtime loss against the Flyers on Saturday. Yeah.
Danny, any final thoughts on anything discussed here on the 22nd edition of the Local Lowdown Podcast?
No, Zach, dude. I mean, it's hard to believe that we're getting into crunch time for the NFL, and that we're already down to bowl games and playoff, the college football playoff being announced. I mean, man, oh man, is it flying by? So I'm just gonna try to enjoy all the sports, man, and always appreciate you having me, Zach. Appreciate everybody for watching and listening.
All right, we want to thank those 2 or 3 folks that tuned in with us live. Sorry we kind of caught onto us late. You can always watch the replay on YouTube. That'll be available shortly after we wrap things up here. Until next time, he's Danny Shamholzer. I'm Zach Bischoff, and we will see you next time right here on the Local Lowdown Podcast.